Hello everybody. We are happy to welcome you on this tour of Bad Kreuznach on the Crucenia Express, the Blue Klaus. On the right you can see the Park Hotel Kurhaus, which is the spa hotel. The present building was built in 1913. Professor Seidel drew up the plans following those of the original building, which had been pulled down in 1843. From 1917 to 1918, the hotel was the headquarters of the last German Kaiser, Wilhelm II. In the Second World War, the building served as headquarters of the Supreme Command under General von Witzleben. In 1958, Charles de Gaulle, the French President, and Konrad Adenauer, the German Chancellor, met in this building to forge the Franco-German friendship. On the left, you can see the main baths, dating from 1911. The baths have been renovated at a cost of €7.5 million. It is now the finest example of its kind in Germany. We are now leaving the island and are crossing the mill pond. Over there on the left, we can see the clinic for the treatment of rheumatic disorders. On the right, in the spa grounds, there is the Elizabeth source. It is one of 20 healing springs in Bad Kreuznach. Up there on the heights, you can see the tea house, which was built at the beginning of the 19th century by the local aristocrat Freiherr von Reckum. Underneath the tea house, there is the radon gallery, where rheumatic disorders can be treated by the rare gas radon. On the left, there is the Karl Aschoff Clinic. On the right, in the background, there is the Quellenhof Hotel. It was built in 1912, using the stones from the original spa building. That is the Iranian Park, where once a nunnery stood. The Duke made a present of the nunnery to his wife Maria, who was a princess of the House of Orange. In 1673, the Duchess was widowed and took up residence in the Iranian Park, as she chose to call it. The Hotel Iranienhof, which was later built there, enjoyed a considerable international reputation. The hotel served as the headquarters of Hindenburg and Ludendorff in World War I. At the end of the 1920s, the hotel was pulled down. There is now a small restaurant there. In the lower end of the park, there is a mini golf course. On the left, there is the second biggest hotel in Bad Kreuznach, the Hotel Caravelle. On the right, we can look down Kawastrasa, named after the famous family of sculptors, the Karls. In spring, the Japanese cherry blossom trees turn the street into a mass of pink blossoms. On the right, you can see a cut-open golden globe, which represents the sun. A planetary way has been laid out on the scale of 1 to 1 billion. On the right, in the castle-like building, there used to be a pump house supplying all the hotels with spa water or brine. And right, next, we see the bronze sculpture Thirst. Two warriors fight over a drink of water. This sculpture won a gold medal in Paris during a world exhibition. Here we are on the Prieger Promenade, named after the founder of the spa in Bad Kreuznach, the Dr. Johann Erhard Peter Prieger. On the right, on the pedestal, you can see Bismarck, the one-time German Chancellor. The sculpture is by Hugo Kauer. The state of Rhineland-Palatinate has invested 22 million euros in flood protection in the Nahe River area and the mill pond. Bad Kreuznach had to find 10% of this money. On the right, on the wall of the planetary way, we can see Jupiter. Between the banks of the river Nahe and the Prieger Promenade, we can see the Rose Island. The roses were first shown in 1905, and since that time, many different types of roses have flourished there. Now we come into the Celina, Karlshalle, built in 1732. The well is 135 meters deep, and the water temperature is 22 degrees. It is the first of its kind in Bad Kreuznach. In front of us, there are the very first spa facilities the town of Bad Kreuznach had. They are now historically protected facilities. On the left, we can see the salt concentration unit, or Celina, which was made available for tourists visiting at a cost of 40,000 euros. At the top, on the left, we can see the hilltop called Gans, which is 321 meters above sea level. On the right, the small hut was once the customs house. In the Middle Ages, the toll was paid here. We are now driving along the edge of the local forest called the Hart. There are long walks along the higher regions of the hills. At the bottom, on the left, in a branch of the river Nahe, there is a stretch of water reserved for sport canoeists. On the right, there is an old farm, the Sulzerhof, first mentioned in 1203. Halle is an old German word associated with salt, and here we are in the Theodorshalle. The salt extraction expert, or saline expert, Freiherr von Beust, built an extraction unit in there in 1743. It was named after Prince Karl Theodor. We are now entering the largest known respiratory treatment hall. By virtue of the evaporation of the thermal waters, the concentration of iodine and bromide drop